It's another PRX, but this one is special according to Tissot. But can you get past that tacky thing on the dial? A loyal viewer of the channel, Mr. Enno Rob, has once again pulled off the impossible and managed to secure this very special piece, the Tissot PRX Damian Lillard edition. Find out what makes this such a special edition of the PRX, see all of the many Easter eggs inside this watch, and finally see what I'm going to do with Mr. Enno Rob at the end of this video. Imagine yourself going to sleep back in the late 70s. You'd likely remember Kareem was one of the most popular players in the NBA, and that Tissot just launched the PRX as their new product line. As you wake up today, you'll notice that the PRX is still here, but you'll be surprised that the NBA's defense has seemingly gone extinct. This PRX marks the first special edition from the very popular collection, and we're expecting this won't be the last, as this collection has been very lucrative for the brand. You can see immediately how different this model is compared to Tissot's offerings, with a few sprinkles of unique gimmicks to enjoy if you're an NBA fan. But if you're not too attached to the NBA, you won't be shortchanged here either, as there's barely any basketball reference on this watch. I think that's the model's biggest draw. It's just like any other PRX out there until you examine it more closely. That is not to say that it doesn't have any clearly distinct feature, but the subtlety definitely adds to its allure. Of course, it will still have the rest of the PRX signature features, such as that clean butterfly clasp, that lovely bracelet with its narrow links and light play, and of course that compact case design. Another great feature is the quick release lug system. It's relatively easy to detach and swap around with straps for your further enjoyment. However, it may take some practice to attach it back to the case. On this uninterrupted demonstration, you can see how difficult it can be even for my smaller fingers to pinch the two levers on the lugs and then slide it onto the lugs itself. The lugs are angled a little bit, which contributes to the challenge of installing this piece back to its place. Happily, Tissot does provide a tool that can help you push these levers in. Let's set aside the watch for a moment to put some short attention to the box. It has this unique Dame Dollar sign that's printed in the outer sleeve of the box. The box itself is the same box that Tissot offers, so that's about as special as you can get. There's nothing special either on the feel and wearability of the PRX, as we've all grown to love this narrow-linked articulate bracelet. Yes, it does look a little big on my wrist, but I know you guys are not going to say anything and risk being banned from this channel. Let me do all the risking here as I adopt this dark blue Tissot strap on this gold PRX. As I throw in this band on this special edition Tissot, you'll notice that the hardware does not match. Of course, I would prefer this to be in yellow gold as well to match the case, but hey, this two-tone is not a total scrub at all. Now, enough of that little experiment, and let's flick it back to its beautiful golden bracelet. This setup should be fun enough to elevate your game, as you can see it compared to another cool PRX model. We're not comparing dimensions here, as there's no point in doing such, as they are practically the same. It's really the impression that this gold variant makes beside the equally elegant light dial of this Powermatic PRX. Either which one you choose, you're sure to have loads of fun, as both could live in the same collection. How's your comment and keyboard tapping game? Put it to the test by subscribing to get notified when I have these new watches to review, so you can get your comments in the video like these folks. SHJ2000 thinks it's a lot of flash for little cash. Jay Newsong is in love with this timepiece and wishes he could get one, while GQ Warren remarks how refreshing it is for Dame Dollar to have a collab with an affordable brand and not with hype brands such as AP. However, WatchMat goes all out as he thinks that Dame Dollar's sign is ugly and he doesn't care who Damian Lillard is. Design should always come first. This special edition PRX seems to be a little divisive amongst watch fans, and I could see why. While most of the watch is as PRX as it could be, there are smaller deviations that hint at its unique nature. Happily, the biggest reference to the popular basketball player is prominently displayed at the back, with Damian's signature celebration printed under the crystal. Damian Lillard is one of the most prolific shooters in the modern NBA era. He's made countless clutch shots, and his signature celebration gesture is pointing at his wrist. This denotes that it's Dame time. it's his time to win the game. This, I think, is one of the cleverest integration of a celebrity collaboration. Not only is it referencing the partnership between Tissot and the NBA, but the player himself is known to make this horologically themed celebration. Let's check out some of the finer details of the dial where we can see some of the first in the PRX line. The gilt elements of this dial has an amazing contrast against the black textured surface and that stark black seconds hand. This also goes very well with the gold printing and other gold hardware such as the handset. Speaking of hardware, the Dame dollar sign, Damian's own signature brand, is likely the most distinct and somewhat unsettling part of the watch, as many have noted earlier. It's bold and prominent even though it's small relative to the dial size. I can attribute this to the strong contrast of the whole watch face. I'm just happy it's not gold as well. The inside part of the rehaut has some of my favorite Easter eggs. It's balanced and discreet. It displays Dame time at the upper left and right quadrants, while the initials for Dame's family members and the phrase "you know what time it is" are etched on the lower quadrants of the ring. And finally, that dial is stamped with a bunch of zeros, Damian's jersey number. It's a great detail that makes it more sports-oriented but not too tacky, because you know that seconds hand already has all the tack that you'll ever need. Many will argue that professional basketball is more exciting and a lot more glamorous now than ever before. I, on the other hand, feel that the NBA has lost some of the fundamental parts of the game in favor of a more flashy entertainment. This PRX symbolizes that emphasis on entertainment without sacrificing too much of that PRX fundamentals. Despite people's reservations on that tacky symbol on the watch face, I feel it doesn't detract from the overall purpose of the watch. Actually, I kinda grew to love it, or at the very least get used to it after a week of wear. To this date, it's the only gold tone PRX with a black dial, so it offers something new for the watch audience even if they're not an audience of basketball itself. And yes, it's another PRX. It's not a game changer, but a winner nonetheless for this watch pirate because if you couldn't tell, I'm a fan of both the collection and also of the game. And that is the Gold PRX Damian Lillard edition, a collaboration that's not so over the top. It has some subtle hints and Easter eggs to it. And at the same time, it has some proportions that may be questionable, but it's still something that would not prevent people from buying this very special edition. It's a special edition PRX. We're at that point, guys. So I think this is not the first time that they're going to do it. They're going to make more of these special or limited editions. And this just shows that Tissot is still going to continue milking this line in their collection. And I hope that they do other stuff too. But this is a really nice collaboration between Tissot and this very popular NBA player. And you know what we're going to do with Mr. Enno Rob? We're going to do something that's totally different. We normally do this in our show. We elect this viewer as an honorary member of the Horological Watch Pirate Hall of Fame, and that's what we're going to do here in this very special video. Thank you, Mr. Enno Rob. You are now an official member of the Horological Pirate Hall of Fame as not just a watch pirate, but a watch pirate captain because of your dedication to this channel and for lending us some really, really good pieces. So you can call it like a bribery. So point to all of you who want to be an honorary member of the Horological Pirate Hall of Fame. A lot of H's there. Send me watches to review. Okay? Thank you again, Mr. Enno Rob, for this fine watch. And he promised us to show us more watches or to lend more watches in the channel for us to review. So stay tuned for that.